questions pretty much every week now from people who are potty training their puppy and coming up with some struggles. And every time I get this question, I always have almost like a checklist of things I run through with the person to ask, could it be any of these things that are working against you? So I'm gonna share what that checklist is. The first is, how big is your crate? I think a lot of times we feel the very natural inclination to think, I'm getting a puppy, I want them to feel comfortable, so I'm gonna get them the biggest crate that I can, because we almost associate it like us getting a big hotel room, right? The thing is that when you get your puppy into too big of a space, first of all, from what I understand, they actually don't prefer that. They prefer to feel more cozy. Other than that, there's also the element of potty training, because if you put your puppy in too big of a crate, they will end up using it as an ensuite. So they'll potty on one side and they'll sleep on the other. Google this if you're not sure, maybe speak to your vet, but the ideal space for your crate is enough for your puppy to be able to walk in, turn around, and walk back out. You don't want it to be too big, especially before they're potty trained. This will work against you if you make it too big. The second thing I ask is if they're using an enzymatic cleaner and if they're following the instructions. So many people tell me, I'm not using an enzymatic cleaner, but I'm really cleaning it thoroughly. And the thing is, if your puppy has a mess inside and you don't use an enzymatic cleaner, traces of that smell will stay on whatever surface they peed or pooped on. Imagine it kind of like those remainder smells are almost like a bathroom sign, right? A toilet sign saying, this is where you go. So if you're not using an enzymatic cleaner, those smells are lingering in your house and your puppy's gonna get mixed signals and be more likely to go in the same spot, no matter how well you clean it, if you're not using an enzymatic cleaner. The third thing I would ask is, are you engaging with your puppy when you take them out, especially at night, to go potty? Here's the thing. I think a lot of people struggle with their puppy waking them up in the middle of the night. They take them out, but then the puppy won't go back to sleep. Or the puppy will wake them up and not even go potty. He just wants to play. If you're waking up in the middle of the night to take your dog to go potty and you're playing with them or engaging with them or making it fun in any other way, you increase the likelihood that they're going to want to wake you up to play. And they're then thinking, oh, I'm awake, it's playtime, let's be a little gremlin. Susan Garrett has a great podcast on potty training. I highly recommend listening to that. She also has a podcast on sleep training. I think these two episodes go particularly well together. It's really important that, especially at night when you're potty training, that if your puppy wakes up to go potty, you take them out, put them where they need to go, and then put them back in the crate with as little engagement as possible. You don't even want to say good boy when they go. You want to keep it super, super low key. You want to train your puppy that when you wake me up at night, all we're doing is going potty and then you're going back into your bed. The last thing that I ask is if they have any kind of towel or bedding in the crate, if they're crate training again. The reason for this being that if your puppy has a bed, for example, even if the crate's the right size, even if you are cleaning with an enzymatic cleaner, if they realize that they can pee on that bed and they won't get wet, they'll end up having no problem peeing in that crate. If this is you and you're in that situation where your puppy's peeing in the bed, my suggestion would be to remove that bed or remove the towel so they're just sleeping in the crate for a little while, so they can learn, okay, when I'm in the crate, I don't go potty in here. Once they've done that for a few nights, you can absolutely reintroduce the bed, but just to help with potty training and to help you not have to wake up and have to clean a mess in the morning, this is what I would suggest. But these are just my thoughts. I'd love to hear yours. If you have any more tips for potty training, pop them in the comments. If you're having trouble, despite all the things I mentioned, pop it in the comments. I'm sure someone else will have some other ideas. And as always, if you want to continue following along our journey of hopefully raising a brilliant family dog with Vigo, make sure you give us a follow.